This is going to be a video about the most powerful force in the universe, a force that if you can tap into as a man, you can become literally unstoppable. And at the very end of this video, I speak about a very, very powerful experience with ayahuasca that showed me the true meaning of love. Stay till the end and you'll hear an amazing story. We're gonna go check out these amazing rock formations and maybe get a view of the beautiful and epic mountains behind me right here. Stay tuned. And check this out. This is my tiny home on wheels, my little van. It's a 2013 Freightliner Sprinter van, converted, got everything I need in here. And this is where I live, and this is what allows me to live cheaply so I can devote myself more fully to helping this planet find healing. By the way, welcome. If you're new to this channel, this is a channel dedicated to helping the men of this planet become living embodiments of health and higher consciousness, and to work together to become the type of men that is most needed for the earth to heal today. So on this channel, we talk about all things health, higher consciousness, conscious masculinity, finding ways to improve our relationships, how to apply conscious entrepreneurship, how to get fit, healthy, strong bodies, how to live a life of meaning, how to live a life connected to the divine, beyond thoughts and books and ideas and Sunday school, but that is real and direct within your own heart. And as a linchpin in all of that is the conscious and intelligent use of sacred medicine and psychedelics. I want to begin a talk about the most powerful force in the entire universe. This is a force that if you can connect to, you become truly unstoppable, and there are literally no limits to what you can do and to what you can create in life. Now, people might hear this and be like, bro, come on, like, people have been saying that forever. This is just marketing. This is just clickbait. And the truth is, there is a force that exists within all of these rocks. It is the force that moves the clouds, that makes the snow come down. It's the force that has shaped all of these beautiful stones all around me. And it's the same force that has driven men to land on the moon and create systems of freedom. This is a force that moves all of our reality. It is the force that caused the Big Bang. It is the force that caused the solar system to coalesce into planets. And it is the force that makes the planets spin and makes the moon go round, makes the birds fly. It is the quintessential force of all of life. And if you can tap into this force, you become unstoppable and you can create anything that you put your mind to, literally anything. When I work with people professionally, the very first thing I have them do is to connect to this force directly within their own body. I'm not going to keep it a secret what this force is. Some of you are maybe already guessing it if you study my work at all. The force we're speaking of here is love. Love is the most powerful force in the cosmos, in the universe. Love with a capital L, speaking to absolute love, divine love. Love that is so powerful, it transcends all description. This love is the most powerful force in the entire universe. Well, it is literally windy as motherfucking shit right here. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Found a much better place, free of the massive gusts of freezing cold mountain wind. My hands are basically numb. So the question is, why is love the most powerful force in the universe? Love is the ground substance of all of reality. This is what virtually every religious or mystical tradition through time immemorial has said. That's because that's what people that have accessed the highest states of consciousness encounter. They encounter the divine, and when they encounter it, they find love is there. This isn't love as we experience it as a human emotion. It's much more profound and bigger. I've described it before as this is a byproduct of infinity, God, or the infinite field of consciousness from which reality emerges. It is a byproduct of this field's infinite self-acceptance by way of its infinite self-knowledge. This field is an infinite field of consciousness. It is fully conscious of the fact that it is infinity. And it knows that it can't be anything other than infinity. Infinity is infinity. There's no other way around it. Infinity is infinity. It has no boundary, and anything that would appear outside of infinity would instantly be usurped in infinity. Infinity is all inclusive. There can be nothing outside of it. It is what it is, forever and always. So this field is fully conscious of this fact, and it fully accepts itself exactly as it is. Infinity, infinite being. This state of acceptance is what love is. When you love someone, you're saying, I accept you. When you don't love someone, you're saying something about you I cannot accept, and therefore I withdraw love from you. Love and acceptance in this context are essentially the same thing. This field lives in a state of infinite self-knowledge, self-knowing, infinite self-acceptance, but it doesn't actually have the ability to love every finite piece that composes this field of infinity until it can experience it. This is a process that occurs beyond time, but essentially the divine fragments itself into an infinite number, and it's just ongoing forever. Different fractals of experience inside of this field. And it's experiencing all of these different angles. It's experiencing all of these pieces of sand. It's experiencing the wind, the rocks, every single person that's ever been born, alien species, beings of light in other dimensions, demonic beings in hell realms. It is experiencing itself in every single way possible so that it knows what it is. It's a paradox. It knows I'm infinity. Yes, I'm infinity. But what the fuck is infinity? And so it is in this process. I've called this the process with a capital P. So this field fragments itself into all these different pieces so that it can experience itself fully and therefore love itself fully. By extension, then, all of creation and all of reality is an expression of love. It is an attempt for infinity to comprehend and understand and know what infinity really is so that it can love itself. And it can know what it is so it can love itself more fully. That's the metaphysics of love. When we are connected to love, we become unstoppable because the universe, this process with a capital P, is unstoppable. It will go forever and always. Infinity, looking into itself, becoming conscious of itself, and loving itself. First step I take every client through is to connect with love. And how I coach them to do that is to actually feel love inside their body. Now, when I ask people to do this, a lot of people struggle with it because sadly, we live in a culture that's not connected to love in general. It can be a real struggle, especially for men, to actually feel the emotions and the vibrations of love. Men tend to be more in their head compared to women. I think that's a survival aspect. That's also a lot of conditioning. It's a confluence because men go to war and men are hunters. When you're in war, there can be a benefit not to feel your emotions, or building bridges or getting things done. There can be a benefit to having linearized mind and analytical mind and instinctual action rather than deep felt emotion. But because we are all holistic beings, we need to ultimately have access to these emotions. When I coach men and they have challenges connecting with love, I first ask them to remember a time they felt a lot of love. Maybe it's like me. I feel just great love for life when I'm out in the mountains filming content and doing my thing. I have felt great love in deep moments of ecstatic union with romantic partners. Perhaps you felt really deep love when you got your first car. Perhaps you felt really deep love when you got a really cool video game that you were really into. Maybe you're just super into video games and it's like Christmas, you're a little kid and you turn on the video game and you're like, wow, here it is. Maybe you felt a lot of love when you really helped someone. Maybe you felt a lot of love when you had a mystical experience through psychedelics or sacred medicine. Perhaps you felt a lot of love with a partner of yours that you love deeply. Whatever it is, you bring a memory of love to mind and you try and remember what it felt like. Kind of put yourself back in that position, back in those shoes, and you just feel and feel as fully as you can what it felt like to feel that love. And if you stick at this for long enough, eventually you will feel the vibrations of love within yourself. I start people with feeling love inside themselves. And from there, I ask them, what do you really love about life? What do you love to do? Where do you love to be? What are the emotions you love to feel? For me, my love is feeling freedom. My love is supporting others. My love is knowing that in whatever small ways that I'm having an impact on the world and in people's lives. My love is sharing wisdom, consciousness, and healing with others. My love is protecting the earth. My love is being out in nature in expansive areas. Whatever the love is for you, you just feel it into yourself and you hone it down to the most deep and the most potent aspect of love that you can feel inside of your body. And that there is what I call your one love. It's your one love. Love occurs in a field of oneness, and love is the very first step that we establish in creating the dream you want to live on this planet and in your lifetime. Your connection to love is your North Star in life. Your connection to love is your connection to the meaning of existence itself. Your connection to love grounds you and supports you through the challenging aspects of making change in life. If we want to grow, if we want to heal, if we want to step into bigger shoes, if we want to walk the hero's journey, if we want to help this planet heal, if we want to create more relationships with new partners, if we want to make more money, anything that we want to do and to achieve, to become healthy, fit, embodied beings of higher consciousness, it requires emotional labor. There's no way to escape this. And this isn't a bad thing. This is just a fact of life. To grow requires that we lean into our edges. It requires that we step into greater responsibility. It requires that we rise to the occasion and we let go of what's no longer serving us. We let go of our fears. We make difficult changes. We say no to instant gratification and yes to the hero's path. All of these things are challenging. They're difficult. That's why we admire people that have high levels of development because they're doing things that so many people can't. When you're connected to love in this process, the love is what drives you through the challenging times. Love is what gets you through times when you're sick with chronic illness and you can't see a way out. Love is what gets you through times when you have to leave old friends behind, old family members, when you gotta quit your job and start something new on your own. Take the risk. When you are grounded in love, all of the emotional labor of growth and inner development becomes a labor of love. A labor of love is sustainable, like raising a child, which I have no experience in, but I know for sure it requires tremendous labor, tremendous sacrifice, tremendous commitment. Any loving parent that's grounded in love for their child, no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, even if they got to live in a box under a bridge together, they are not giving up. They will not quit. They will never abandon the child. They would starve to death before they let go of their child. Why? Love. They love their child. A mother will sacrifice her life without a fucking second thought for a second to protect her child. Why? Not even a second thought, zero question. She would jump in front of a bullet. Why? Love. Catch the nuance here. Catch the power of this. If you are truly connected to love, doing what you love every day, serving a higher cause to protect the universe, to protect life, to support healing, and it's grounded in love. Doesn't matter what obstacles you face, doesn't matter what comes your way. You're making love every single day. You're living from love. You're living in harmony with the most powerful force of the universe. Nothing can stop you. So as you embark on this journey of finding your life purpose, living your calling, getting fit, getting healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and committing your life to giving a gift in such a way that it protects the planet, ground it all in love. I suggest you do that exercise. Write out what you love, write out a time that you love, meditate on love, and practice feeling this love inside of yourself. If you do that on a regular basis, I do mine almost every single day. I read what I love and I feel it within myself. And that's what has gotten me through times when I was just in deep emotional pain from Lyme disease, not having anyone to talk to, wanting to quit, having less than $1,000 to my name, but ultimately coming back to, I'm doing this for love. And if I'm serving love, it doesn't matter what happens because I'm in alignment with the totality of all existence. I want to end this video by talking about a really special experience that happened to me regarding love and regarding overcoming the challenges of life through a very deep experience I had with ayahuasca. I've had a challenging life. Big deal. So has everyone. And if you haven't yet, at some point you probably will. That's ultimately how this universe works. We grow through challenges. Amongst this challenge was not just my personal challenge, but looking at the collective challenge that the earth is facing. The pain, the war, the destruction of the environment, the loss of soil, species dying everywhere, atmosphere heating up, planet filling up with plastic, seeing the corruption in politics, and just the scale of pain and the scale of dysfunction on the planet. And it was just overpowering and just so dark to look at. With tears in my eyes, like looked up wherever. And I asked the medicine, like, how? Like, how do I do something to fix this? What do I do? And how, in that, how do I even overcome the challenges in my own life? Having no money, living in a homemade wooden box that I built, suffering deeply with Lyme disease, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, no real support system of intimate and close connections that I could talk to and be received on an emotional and heartfelt basis. So I just said, how do I do it? Like, how? And this is the beauty of working with sacred medicine is you have a voice, and some people call it the voice of the medicine. To me, it's really your own soul infuses with the spirit of the medicine and you communicate together as one. My soul and the spirit of the medicine said together to me, draw power from unconditional love. And how I am emotional now in saying that is how I was emotional then in saying in experiencing it, because that is how we do it. The planet is dying, and this is a really serious situation, and the obstacles are overwhelming. It's truly overwhelming, but if it's to be done, it will be done by drawing power from unconditional love. That is divine love. Love beyond name and form. Love that transcends all words and all meanings. That's what I'm encouraging all of us, is to start by connecting with what we love the most. And slowly over time, through spiritual growth and deep spiritual practice and deep medicine journeys, to begin to draw power from unconditional love. Unconditional love is the love of the divine. It's not always the easiest thing to access. All love is a subset of unconditional love, but to truly draw power from unconditional love means to access deep states of spiritual profundity and to live and work from that place. That is my mission in life. And I hope that to all the men watching this that can feel in their heart and in their soul and in their bones that something must be done about this, that we can't stand idly by and watch the planet burn, that feel in their calling that they're here to do something more, and that know that the way we do it is through spiritual embodiment, health, commitment, conscious masculinity, and love, to begin the process and connect to love deeply and live from love. Every step you take as an act of love, every thought you think an act of love, and to stay steadfast and committed to that process. If we do that and we work together, we can save this planet and we can achieve our dreams. But even if we don't and the planet burns, it doesn't matter because we lived from love. And this reality is ultimately an illusion. It's made of the same substance as dreams. It's a persistent hallucination within a field of consciousness. But to serve love is to serve the highest principle in the universe. And to serve love, even if you don't get the end result, that commitment, that service of love is encoded in your soul forever, for infinity. So that's my invitation, men, to live from love and to commit ourselves to this process. I want to thank you for checking out this channel, checking out the video. If you feel inspired by this content, please like it, share it, subscribe. That helps me out a lot. I'm just getting started. I'm trying to weasel my way into the competitive space here. So like, subscribe, share, or more importantly, begin the process for yourself. Go full in. And if you need help doing that, whether you can afford professional work or not, I offer a free hour-long call at the time of this recording. So I encourage you to jump in on that and let's talk. I'll get you started. I'll give you free resources to begin the process. And we become brothers in this path, committed to protecting this planet and serving love. It would be an honor to meet you. And either way, thank you so much. Stay tuned for more. You can find me on Instagram. You can find my podcast on Spotify. That's going to be releasing here in the next few weeks. And stay tuned for more. Much love.